this the house where all those people died a few years ago?
My sister was one of the few that made it out alive.
You know, they say that the souls of the people who died here still haunt the house.
What the hell is wrong with you people? There's no such thing as ghosts.
The house is going into lockdown.
It was home to some of the most horrific events ever committed. Returning there will be more terrifying
My sister was telling the truth about this place.
than anything you can imagine.
It's true. The house, This is where it gets ugly.
Carl and Lou here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and it's horror movie time as we return to The House on Haunted Hill. Yes, this is the sequel to the remake, the 1999 remake. We have reviewed that movie. Please go check it out. It's a long talk through about it. In summation, we adore a lot of that film.
Yeah.
And then we hate a lot of that film. It's as simple as that. It's the most 50-50 film I may have ever seen in my life.
Definitely.
Normally,
the shift.
Yeah. That's it, the shift. Normally you kind of go good and movies slide towards bad. This movie goes good, fucking what?
Off the cliff face.
Off the cliff, yeah. Falling off that goddamn cliff that this house built on. 2007 direct-to-DVD horror movie. Is direct, yeah, I mean, there you go. It's direct-to-DVD, not good. Directed by Victor Garcia, written by William Massad. The film stars Amanda Ratteri, Tom Riley, Serena Vincent and Eric Palladino. The film follows Ariel Wolf, the younger sister of Sarah Wolf, which was Ali Larter's character in the original. A character from the previous film being forced by a group of people to search for a mysterious idol hidden inside an abandoned and haunted psychiatric asylum. Now, if you know the original and you've just heard me say that brief synopsis and gone, wait, what? That's us when watching this movie.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What? Yeah. Oh.
Because this decides to just change up the lore of the first film.
Yeah.
Completely, and it's not good.
No.
I think this movie, here's the thing, this movie is bad all the way through.
Yeah.
That's the big difference here. It's bad, it's not fun,
No.
it's downright stupid at times, it's just bad all the way through. But it does hold one thing in high regard. It has got a scene that I think is one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in horror to date. So bad that I told you about it beforehand, and when it came around I was like, here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Ariel Wolf, Amanda Rigetti, is the sister of Sarah Wolf, as we already said, the survivor of the birthday event 8 years ago in the Vaniket Psychiatric Institute to the criminally insane, not a house, which at that time had been abandoned and later converted into a private residence, but has since been abandoned again.
Oh.
That was important. Yeah.
It would just be tore down, but...
And of course, if you don't know the events, in the 1930s, the asylum was overseen by the sadistic psychiatrist Dr. Richard B. Vaniket. Jeffrey Combs, again, playing the role, getting a bit more to do in this, but no dialogue. Sarah had claimed after that the ghost of the house residents killed a party guest and later committed suicide. This is why Ali Larter is not in this movie. You do have a shot of a woman that's supposed to be Ali Larter, but thankfully what they did was they covered her face a la Ring Ghost Girl, so it doesn't look like her. But you do briefly see, and you're like, well, that's not Ali Larter.
No.
That's not Ali Larter at all. Ariel and her friend Paul, which is Tom Riley, are kidnapped by an art dealer named Desmond Niles, Eric Palladino. Let's talk about these three main characters. Ariel, Paul, and Desmond. Wow, she is so bland. He is so forgettable. Unbelievable. And Desmond as a villain is so fucking crap. He doesn't even belong in this movie. No. It's so absurd. Don't like anyone in this.
No,
do you like anyone? Can you think,
They're so memorable as well. I can't... Like,
forgettable, you mean?
Oh, yeah, forgettable.
Oh, I thought you said memorable. You said unmemorable. Yeah,
that's not... Forgettable is probably the better English for that. Yeah. Just bland.
Yeah, Ariel realises that Sarah didn't actually commit suicide. It was Desmond that killed her. And Desmond forces Ariel to help him find this artifact, basically, that's supposed to be inside the Institute, the house on Haunted Hill. Apparently it's a figurine of the demon Baphomet. I know, I mean, I wouldn't blame you at this point in the movie when all of this is being said just going, nah,
No,
not for
direct
me.
DVD,
Nah.
DVD, toss it in the bin.
Yeah, this isn't going to be fun. This isn't going to be anything good. You might be thinking, well, when they get in, it'll be fun, right? It will be. It won't be.
No.
Inside the building, they end up running into Dr. Richard Hammer, which is Stephen Pacey, and his assistants Kyle, Andrew Lee Potts. I like Andrew Lee Potts. I've seen him do some good stuff in this, but his I'm sarcastic and witty in this will grate on you to such an extent.
Too much.
Here's the thing. I get you can be witty and all that, but the fact that they do this constant thing where they'll have guns pointed at them and they're still giving witty lines.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. No one ever really feels under threat except the villains in here.
Yeah.
And Michelle, Serena Vincent, and she's like Dr. Hammer's assistant or student, which he apparently has been having a sort of a relationship with. A relationship with. Inside, Ariel explains that the building has been rigged to keep everyone inside for at least 12 hours. Yes, right.
Keep remembering 3 words, direct to DVD.
Right, okay, that's a thing that she knows, and apparently now we have a specific timer on. Also, why would that exist?
Yeah.
Why would that generally exist?
Yeah, there's no good
There's no
reason.
sense to that.
No.
If it's been converted to a private residence, so they were like, yeah, okay, so cool. When you're like settling down for the night, you're trapped in here for the next what?
Yeah.
What if I've got to get up in 8 hours for work?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. The group split up to search for the idol. Desmond's henchmen, and I mean henchmen. Goombas.
Yeah,
These are Goombas. No names, nothing important. They're just there to die. They're killed by inmate ghosts. And when they die, they have visions of the patients there suffering the same deaths as them. Yeah. We get that, where they'll be killed, and then you'll see what happened to the same patient. Because what this film goes out of its way to do is go, all these inmates are victims. Yeah. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's a 1930s psychiatric institute. Yeah. There would have been a lot of victims and abuse and stuff like that. I don't mind that so much. Yeah. I hate the fact that it goes, not only were they victims to a level of degree. For example, one guy gets his guts punched in when hands reach out of rocks. Yeah. And we see that what happened to that particular patient was he got walled up behind a wall. And it's like, what? Like, what?
No.
Well, like, at least in the original, the therapies, while archaic and wrong by today's standards, we knew the electroshock therapy existed. Yeah. We know it existed and why it existed. You can't do this in this film. We're like, why? What possible treatment involved
that
putting someone behind a wall?
Yeah.
Like, huh? That's not abuse anymore. That's not.
No.
It doesn't make any sense. No. I really don't like it. Ghost shows Ariel the depravity the inmates suffered under Dr. Vatiker, and these images reveal that Vatiker was driven mad by the idol and performed experiments on the mentally ill. Yeah, I mean, I don't love that. I find the idea of Vatiker just being an evil man. Yeah. Who a god, like a doctor with a god complex.
Experimenting on people that people won't really care about. Yeah. In that sense, not care about, but.
Well, they don't care about.
No, they don't. They would have got people with disabilities or mental health issues, probably insane. Yeah, go nuts.
Yeah. So obviously that's why the inmates' led a revolt against Vatiker. So by doing that, you take away a lot of the horror of the original instantly. Obviously the sanitarium burned down, and we actually see the same footage of the 1999 film with House on Haunted Hill, the same bit of footage we do again. And the deaths in the previous film were assumed to be caused by the ghost, but now Ariel has shown that the dead are actually forced by the idol to do Vatiker's bidding and did not willingly kill. Okay then.
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
You had so much opportunity to do something with it. Why would you just...
I've never been a fan of good ghosts.
No.
And here's the thing. You're going to do that in a movie, fine. But to do this, you're rewriting stuff for the first film.
It's like more work. You got to... And nothing's explained properly because you're trying to change so much. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just go with what the original film did?
And just do it again?
Yeah, just have them go back in and like expand on stuff. There's so many...
Just make it, keep it a similar thing, but make it like as rich as down there. That he was a hoarder. Yeah. Maybe even like, considering the era was, he was a German Nazi. Yeah. Who was storing Nazi gold down there. Yeah. These are treasure hunters.
Yeah, just go with it. I mean, there's so much you could put into like a place like that, where it was obviously there's a bit of money involved for him to actually get the place up and running. And
it starts to tie itself up in knots, in utter confusion. Before we move on to sort of the latter part of the movie, let's talk about what I consider one of the worst scenes in a horror movie, just because it's baffling of how stupid characters are, but it's designed for one thing only, which is weird titillation. So one of the villains happens to be a woman.
Yeah.
And she's a badass woman. That's all she is. There's nothing about her.
Yeah.
But she also happens to be gay. They make that clear as well.
Yeah.
They want to make that clear. So basically, they do the same thing that happened in the Thing, where she goes down to a lower room and through a video camera, she sees ghosts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And these are 2 female ghosts. But when she brings the camera down, they're actually in the room this time. And guess what they start doing? They take their clothes off. They start stripping out their patient's wear. So you get some lovely nudity there. And rather than being terrified,
Run away.
freaking out, demanding to know who they are, pointing a gun at them, she starts to be seduced by them and goes along with it. They start kissing her, and she's like, oh, there's 3 women kissing together.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the actual fuck is this? This is literally here for fucking teenage boys to go, fuck off, man. And then, like, she sees, oh, they're kind of, it's kind of like the Shining thing.
Oh, yeah, rip off of that.
As you see in the mirror kind of thing, that they're kind of decaying. But they're not that either. They've got like fish heads, like nothing there with these sharp teeth and mouths.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking weird. So she ends up getting killed. Vanica appears and then really, really quickly cuts up her face and her face slides off and she dies. And then like the ghost women are walking like the Silent Hill nurses and you see them into the darkness kissing and touching each other. And you're like, oh my God. Awful. I absolutely hate. It's the one thing I remember from this movie for all the wrong reasons. I just can't believe how stupid that is. And it literally exists for titillation and titillation alone.
Yeah.
It's not scary. It's just stupid. Yeah. It's so stupid. The 12 hours are up. So the master lock mechanism begins to... it opens and Ariel gets out. She runs out into the rain and she's like, yay, I'm safe. But alas, her friend, Paul, has entered the house to look for her. Right?
Yep.
So the door's still open, so she goes, that's right, the door closes, but as she walks back to the house, the door opens because the house is saying, right, come back in. During I almost, if you remember, I almost flipped over this scene. She walks back into the house. Everyone who's still alive is in this main hall area. She walks back into the house, the door is open behind her. It stays open behind her. Nobody moves. Nobody even attempts to go out that door. It doesn't close behind her. Nobody attempts to fucking leave. Because at this point as well, they've got the upper hand on Desmond. They've taken the guns off them.
Yeah, and you just...
The door is open behind her. It is
don't show us
absolutely
that.
insane. So, Michelle, who was obviously Dr. Hammer's lover, has revealed herself to be in league with Desmond.
Yep.
Something about money and crap. I don't know. Anyway, Michelle wants to either for herself, so Desmond tries to kill her, but Michelle is then killed by Vanica. The rest of the group discover a way out of the asylum, but find it blocked by iron bars. It's kind of like it's like a water subway kind of area. A ghost of an inmate then shows Ariel that the idol is in the asylum's basement crematorium.
That's useful.
Yeah, thank God he turned up.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You know, basically, he's like, yeah, go this way for the next part of the movie. Ariel, Paul, and the Hammer descend to the crematorium and discover the heart of the house. So inside one of the giant furnaces is instead it's a tunnel.
Yeah.
It's not a furnace. It leads to this heart, which is comprised of living flesh. Now, it doesn't look living, but it does look fleshy.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
No,
I thought it looked alright.
Yeah.
And in the centre of that room is the idol. Ariel tries to destroy the idol, but it is indestructible, obviously. She then reasons that if it's flushed down the sewer and leaves the building, the spirits will be freed. I mean, I guess. Sure, why not?
Yeah, flush it all away.
I guess. I don't know. Why the hell not, right? What else makes sense?
I know.
What else makes sense? It's a crap movie. This is simply it. We're talking through a crap movie. The team is then ambushed by Desmond, who still wants the idol, but the ghost sees Desmond and burn him alive after he has a vision of our patient dying a similar death. So this is the part we think they wanted to include. It was cut from the original and was kind of done here. And it's the crematorium part. And it's basically fiery ghost. They basically CGI fire in their body. It's not good. What else? I mean, of course it's not good.
You're not expecting anything great from this, are we?
And at this point, I think we're like 10 minutes away from the end. Yeah. You're just like, you know what, I don't care. I just don't care anymore. I do not care. Dr. Hammer is then overcome by the idol's evil and he tries to strangle Ariel because obviously this idol in the vicinity. It's basically the Ring. The Ring from the Lord of the Rings. The ghost of Vanakit then appears, and the inmates come along too. And Vanakit stands and watches, hoping that Ariel and Dr. Hammer will die in the fight, I guess. They just stand and watch. Basically, fight, fight, fight. We might as well be doing that. Yeah. But Hammer recovers his senses, and Dr. Vanakit kills him by smashing his head up against the wall over and over again. Oh no, we lost Dr. Hammer.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh no. But Ariel then throws the idol into the sewer, and it washes out of the building. The spirits vanish, but several stay, and then are took out to Vanakit, tearing him apart. They're good now, and they're getting their revenge on the ghost. Which really confused me. I thought Dr. Vanakit was an innocent guy, consumed by the idol.
Yeah.
I thought he
so if he's gone, then you would...
Wouldn't he kind of turn back to being a good guy? Because that's what they said. Dr. Vanakit was driven evil by the idol. That's so why is he still evil after?
Oh, the story's written in the back of a fag packet. I don't think we can spit more than that, can we?
And of course, the building comes unsealed, and Ariel and Paul leave. Yeah. And that's the end of the movie. But we do a post-credit scene, which we also missed.
Oh wow! Oh no, we all.
I went. Let's see. Without looking at what's written, can you guess what the post-credit scene is? Give me an idea what you think it is.
The idol washes up somewhere else.
My God, she's almost
like Jumanji.
It's almost exactly right.
Hey.
It is literally a man and a woman are about to have sex on the beach, and a woman feels something under the sand. They dig and pull out the Baphomet idol under the sand. It literally is exactly that.
He was doing a good job then. She was sat distracted.
Is that you want? Yeah, exactly. But you're absolutely right. The fact you could easily guess that post-credit scene is incredible. This movie sucks. Like, this is a bad sequel. Yeah. There's nothing good about. There's nothing good about it. This isn't. There's not great acting. The characters are somehow more bare than a lot of the characters in the original.
Yeah, and you've lost. There's no star power.
No star power.
There's no personality. And the reason's stupid. Like, there's already supernatural elements. Why bring a demon element to it? Why?
The convoluted story is fucking insanely absurd. And like I said several times through it, what bothers me the most is it starts to undo a lot of the sort of horror elements of the original, the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. It's now going, no, it's the cause of a demonic idol. Yeah. And you're like, what? But then you can't even stick true to that, as we pointed out at the end regarding Vanakit and stuff like that. There's no particularly interesting deaths. No one dies really in an interesting way. You've got another part that involves this sort of, I guess, really cold pit filled with water.
Yeah.
And there's some like ghosts in that. That's boring as fuck as well. Try and think of a scene or a moment that you think, that was all right. Because I've got one that I thought was okay.
I'm struggling.
There's an Australian meathead. And Andrew Lee Potts and him are walking down together. And Andrew Lee Potts realises that he is someone he knows. And he's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And they have a bit of banter back and forth with that. And it's quite endearing at first, but it's ruined by Andrew Lee Potts having to have the last snarky word. Yeah. And that's just like, oh, there it is again. It's what they never feel like they're threatened by the people who have guns held against their heads. Yeah. How are we supposed to feel threatened for them?
We don't care. Yeah.
When you're constantly just giving sarcastic comments and they're like, oh, well, shoot you. And you don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like, well, why are you even keeping all these people alive? Now, Ariel, the whole reason of that is because she ends up getting Vanakit's diary sent to her by Sarah. Because Vanakit's diary apparently details everything, which is how fucking Ariel knows so much. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. This is such a mess of fucking ideas. And the only connection in them is this house, which isn't even a fucking house. There's some, take that element and put it into this as well. Yeah. It was so boring. But I think ultimately the biggest flaws in this movie is the fact that they probably couldn't get people back. I think Ariel should have been Sarah, should have been Ali Lata, going back to the house for whatever reason, perhaps as an obsession. And you can even then do the idol story to a degree. Yeah. Obviously drop some of the dumbness of it, but create something where she wants to free the spirits. Yeah. She found all this detail out and stuff like that. And that's what it is. But she thinks going back is going to be more protected. By introducing this new character, Ariel, not a problem. She's just fucking so bland. Yeah. She's the one we have to follow along with.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, attach our hopes to her and for a good film.
No. Awful. And the supporting cast are nothing. Desmond is one of the most just crap villains. Just crap villains. And ultimately, the biggest question you keep coming back to is this. Why? Why? Oh, the Baphomet idol everyone's been searching for it for hundreds of thousands of years. We didn't even know it existed. It'll be worth this much money and all that. You've got to convince me of that.
Yeah.
You didn't. Because if such a thing was believed to not exist, how's it got a value?
Yeah.
How's it got a fucking value? The original has massive flaws.
Yeah.
But this one is such a waste of time. I don't recommend it.
No, definitely not. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. But if you do and you know it, let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?